Hey everyone, welcome back to the Battle for a Healthy Voice.
How you doing?
This is David Moyer. I'm Sunny Galt, and we're going to be leading you through today's video. So David, today we are doing a vocal coach reaction video, and this is for Queen or Freddie Mercury, however you want to look at it. Really, in the videos that we're going to be analyzing today, it pretty much is Freddie.
Who's Freddie? Oh, senior moment. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Everybody loves Freddie's voice, right?
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's a really good video to break
voice.
down.
Great.
Yeah. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We've got two videos that we're going to show you. Both of these are live performances because when we break down someone's voice, we really like to hear how they're performing live, you know, not necessarily on a track that's been mastered and remixed and all that kind of stuff.
Very difficult to tell the reality of what's really going on.
Exactly. Exactly. So we've got two videos for you. Before we dive into that, David, what do you think overall of Freddie Mercury? Not necessarily his personality and stuff, but from a vocal coach perspective.
Vocal coach perspective, I would say he is probably one of the top 3 rock singers who used fairly healthy production to do what he did.
Really?
I mean, well, he didn't lose his voice.
Yeah.
Now, I admit he was using a lot of compression, but we have to remember, if you use the genre of rock, the very nature of rock is a sound that was created by people who really didn't know how to sing.
Yeah.
They just threw themselves into it, wrote a song, and went, "Up a blaze running in my brain," you know, "Excuse me." Yeah. And they just did what they did. And they didn't really know that they were hurting their voices. They just sang. Whatever came out, came out.
Do you know if Freddie Mercury had vocal training or if that's something he just did?
I have not studied that, but I think, if I recall, I have a friend of mine who really loves Freddie Mercury, and I think he told me that he did take some studying, and and whoever he studied with obviously taught him proper intercostal breathing and support and fairly good resonance phonation, you know, like in the nasal labials and up in the cavities up here and in the head. But I didn't hear much body singing from Freddie.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what he does in these videos. So the first one, you guys have probably heard the song Somebody to Love. Okay. So Queen song. We've got 2 different places that we're going to break down in the song. So let's take a listen to the first one.
Okay.
Everybody say somebody, can somebody find somebody love?
Okay, that gives me it right there.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, he did a really open jaw drop.
He did.
And although his vibrato is quite fast still, it's pretty obvious from the scratch or the grit you hear in his high note that there's a lot of compression.
Okay.
And that's not healthy. Also, he has some jugular distension as he does the high note. Now, I know how to do that sound. As I've said in other videos, I ruined my voice doing a sound like that.
Right.
And had to have surgeries to fix it. And I could demonstrate it, but then it would hurt, just like the other videos.
Which we don't want you to do that.
All I want you to know is that people say because he had the extra set of bicuspids in his mouth, all I would say about that is that didn't make him necessarily vocally more healthy. What it did is it gave him a little more resonance in the cave.
I have not heard this. So is that a rumor? Is that true?
No, he actually had an extra set of bicuspids in his mouth.
Wow, I have not heard that before.
Now, I think I actually looked at his mouth. And someone, please, link to me or email me and let me know if that's wrong.
Yeah, comment.
But I'm fairly sure that's right. I've studied him. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Anyway. So everything's really going well.
Okay.
And even when he sings the high note, as a rock singer, he's not doing like Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix. No way. Because that's where you grip so hard that you have that scratchy, raspy Rod Stewart kind of sound.
Yeah.
No, he's singing what I would call for the genre of rock,
right,
hard rock, healthy. Because you have to you learn to sing bel canto, which is pure bel canto, because bel canto has been mixed up so much. When we teach you pure bel canto, then you add your compression and the things that you do to make it into rock. You better be careful.
Okay. Well, let's take a listen to another clip a little bit later on the song.
I'm glad he's drinking water.
Somebody love.
Once again, that's extremely healthy vocal fold screaming.
Yeah.
I would call it screaming.
Okay.
It's not on the breath. It does have breath on it, but it's more compression than it is correct singing. And I haven't studied him towards the end of his life, but I know that I did hear once his last performance before he passed on, and I think he really was singing about as healthy in terms strong of the rock genre as he was in the beginning.
Right.
So it wasn't because of the extra size of his mouth, but once again, someone asked me, how does that voice last?
Right.
How does a guy like that keep his voice?
Yeah.
I said, well, some people have extremely strong vocal lining, and we call it ironclad bands.
Okay.
I met a guy when I was with Fred Waring. His name was Tim Noble. You can look him up on YouTube. He's a great, very successful, famous vocal coach, Tim Noble. But Tim did the same thing, and he didn't sing quite as hard as Mercury, but he did do that kind of approach. The drop jaw and the distension, and obviously the pressing on the bore.
Yeah.
And yet he kept his voice. I couldn't do that.
I mean, it would be interesting to see had he, obviously he passed away, but like if his career had extended, it would have been interesting to see how far he would have gone.
Could have held on to it. Yeah.
Right. But like we've been saying, you guys, just because Freddie Mercury can do that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody should be doing it.
Absolutely.
And,
he's an exception to the rule.
There you go.
He really is. I would not try to style your voice after Mercury. I wouldn't try to produce this kind of sound. Most likely you'll damage your instrument.
Okay. And you may have to have surgeries, like David had surgeries as well.
I tried.
Yeah. We want to extend your voice and the quality of your voice, whether you guys are singing or you're speaking. Like the stuff that we're talking about isn't just related to singers. It's people that are using their voice in, all kinds of ways. So we want to extend that for as long as possible. And the way to do that is through pure bel canto.
Sure. And especially if you're like a football narrator, or basketball, and you get excited. Well, when you get excited, you start using your throat. Wow, look at him go, man, he's right. But you shouldn't do that. It should be like me at the football games. I used to go, go, Tim, go. And then
Mickey
look at me
Mouse
like, what's the matter with you? And I'd say, I'm going to be a famous singer, and you're not.
ESPN, are you listening to this? You got to have all of your narrators, your anchors.
You got to do it, guys. NFL, NBA. We need to get you healthy.
All right, guys. For more information on what we're talking about today, Pure Bel Canto, be sure to visit our website, purebelcanto.com. Check out David and I's course. We go through, the history of pure bel canto and how to be able to use this in your everyday life. Okay, so check that out. Thanks for watching.